Today, we are going to be taking you on a full ship tour of Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas, the biggest ship in the world and the most anticipated. But does it live up to expectations? As usual, we paid for this cruise, we have not been invited or sponsored, and we will be giving you our best tips and honest thoughts on this brand new ship. Is it a hit or a miss? So sit back and enjoy. She's huge, so it's going to take us a while to get through each of the 8 unique neighbourhoods. And we were shocked with this ship, so stay tuned for our opinion. So let's get this ship tour started at the top of the ship in Thrill Island. Now this is the area where you're going to find the 6 water slides. Yes, you heard me right, there's bloomin' 6 of them, and it is crazy. Now, as soon as we hit this area, and as soon as we started touring the ship, the first thing that we noticed is just how bright and colourful this ship is. There's no whitewashed walls, it's all very vibrant, very cool, and very modern. It was actually a little bit overwhelming, to be honest, because we've been anticipating this ship for years. It was so fantastic to finally be on board and see all of these slides. Now there's a family raft slide, there's drop slides, there's even racer slides. It is completely crazy. It's a full-on water park on a ship.
And the best thing about it is all included in the cost of your cruise. There is no extra charge to use any of these water slides, which is great. This area is where all the fun and the action is, and it feels like that as well with the theming.
It really does. Now, like David said, included in the price, and it should be, because we'll be talking about it a little bit later on, because this ship is expensive. Oh my gosh, almost double the price of other Royal Caribbean cruises, so we are expecting a lot from this ship. Now just look at that. Doesn't it just look completely wild? There is nothing like it at sea. On other ships like the Oasis class, you'll only usually find 2 or 3 slides. Now, let's climb to the very top. It is so high up here, so if you are afraid of heights, this is definitely not going to be for you. Anyway, you can see some of the requirements to get on the slides here as well, guys, like the maximum weights and the heights. And we'll have a quick look at the slides now. They are such a hoot. So Thrill Island is mainly located on deck 18, which is crazy. There are 18 public decks on board, which makes Icon of the Seas completely and utterly humongous.
And some of these slides are record-breaking as well. A lot of them are firsts at sea, including the tallest drop slide at sea, the first suspended family raft slide at sea, and the first open freefall slide at sea.
Wow, that's a lot of record breaking. Oh my gosh, this slide is terrifying. It's the drop slide. We've seen this on a few other ships, like on Norwegian ships, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. And we just love all of the colourfulness in the slides and all of the little transparent parts as well. It really does make them very fun indeed. Just look at this, guys. It is pretty insane that we're getting things like this on cruise ships now.
Absolutely. It's almost like a small Coco Cay water park plonked on the top of the ship, but the best thing about this one is there's no extra charge.
Yeah, because it's been getting very expensive on Royal Caribbean's private resort island of Coco Cay lately. This just looks so much fun, David, doesn't it? It really does. It's great for all of the family. You can spend a full day here as well. Now, if you want one of our top tips, come here on a port day. This is when you're going to see the least amount of lines. Now, there was only 4,900 people on our cruise, which means that there is room for almost another 3,000. So we can't really see how it's going to be when it's really busy. We're just trying to be super honest with you guys. There's lots of lounging areas, comfortable seats, and most of all, lots of sea views as well. It's something that you're going to see on the ship that you didn't see on previous Royal Caribbean ships, and we are thrilled. We're going to be showing you much more of that.
Now we're coming up to something that's a favourite on all Royal Caribbean ships. It's the flow rider. Now on this ship there is only one, whereas on other ships there is usually 2 flow riders. And even with 2 flow riders, it's usually very busy. So we think there's going to be very long lines for this one. Also, the flow rider is complimentary. It's not an extra charge.
But saying that, you can actually pay for longer sessions on the floor rider, up to $500 in some cases, which is crazy. Now we're just walking through the area of Thrill Island, and you can see the sun lounges and seats everywhere, which is really lovely. And we're just coming up on the Lost Dunes mini golf course. Now this again is a complimentary venue where you can play included in the price of your cruise. And it's a really big mini golf course, and we just love the theming here. It's like a shipwreck theme, and it is fantastic. It's great to play a few rounds here and have some fun. And on our cruise, it was quite quiet, but like we said, there is room for another almost 3,000 people on the ship. So who knows, when it's super, super busy, it could get really busy here. Now, I just wonder, what happens if you hit the ball too hard and it goes into Surfside? That's the area below this whole area, which we're going to be showing you in a little while. But hopefully you don't knock anybody out. Now, I have to say, in terms of stability, this ship is fantastic. So the movement of the ship, because she's a brand new ship, she comes with all of the latest technology and computers on board that keep the ship nice and steady with its stabilizers. And it was very noticeable, even in very windy weather and a little bit of rough seas on our cruise, she held up so well. Probably one of the best ships we've been on. So try not to worry about any movement on board. Anyway, we're moving into another new area, a brand new venue for Royal Caribbean. This is called the Base Camp. Now, this is a dining venue. It's got a bar in here as well, so you can eat al fresco whilst on Thrill Island. But guys, we do have a problem here because it is an upcharge venue. So they serve different types of food for an extra cost. Now, there are a few different free options as well, so complimentary options, but most of the menu is actually an upcharge, which we're not very happy about because this is a very expensive ship to go on. So we would expect this area to have complimentary food instead of charging for things like chicken nuggets and cheese curds. This could be complimentary. It really could be. You'll also find a Coca-Cola freestyle machine here as well. So if you have one of the drinks packages, and that's something we saw on this ship a lot. There are a lot of the freestyle machines. Anyway, we're just heading up to the sports court now. So this is on a different deck just above the Thrill Island. It's like a suspended sports court, and there's lots of games here. Pickleball, we did see charges to learn how to play, which was another expensive charge, guys. It was sort of $70 to learn how to play pickleball, which is an expensive upcharge. Anyway, we're just looking down at the lovely Surfside area, which we said we're going to show you in a little while.
Now we're coming up to Deserted, which is the milkshake shop on board. However, this is an extra charge. None of these milkshakes are included in the price of your cruise, and none of them are available on any of the drinks packages.
Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing because places like Johnny Rockets on previous ships, the milkshakes were included on the drinks package, but nothing is included here. So you're going to have to pay for them, which is a little bit disappointing. I mean, they do look absolutely fantastic. They look very colourful, very cool, but yeah, they are quite expensive, up to $18 in some cases, which is a lot of money, especially if you have a few kids.
You can get non-alcoholic milkshakes here, and they also do boozy milkshakes as well.
So we're just moving around back from base camp now, and here you can see the Adrenaline Park. I can't pronounce that word. Adrenaline? That's the one, yeah. Anyway, you can see the lovely climbing wall here. It's not as big as the other ships, thank gosh, because I would never do it.
But again, it's included in the cost of your cruise. It's a complimentary activity. Now we're coming up to one of the main features that Royal Caribbean have been shouting about on this ship. It's the Crown's Edge.
Yep, and this one is not complimentary. Oh my gosh, guys, in some cases on our cruise, it was $90 per person. Now, it is a great thing to do, and we did try it, so watch our future cruise vlogs for this, but it is not worth $90 per person. Now, it did go down to $39 per person on the cruise for a port day. Still not worth it, but we'll let you know how it went in a future vlog where we actually try it. It is a great thing to do, but oh my gosh, it is so expensive. It is over in 90 seconds.
Now we've headed back to the aft of the ship and we're coming into the Hideaway. Now this section had a little bit of a switcheroo during the first couple of days of this ship sailing. This used to be a family area, but then it was switched at the last minute to the adults only area. This is just behind the Thrill Island, so it is quite noisy actually for an adults only space. It's also not very big and is very, very popular. We took footage at nearly 9 o'clock in the morning and most of the sunbeds were all taken.
Yeah, which is a little bit unfortunate, guys, because like we said, there's another 2,000 or 3,000 people that can be on the ship, so it was very, very busy. There wasn't many sun lounges. I mean, the whole area looks absolutely fantastic. It is so, so beautiful. There's also some areas where you can reserve beds as well, and these can be very expensive. We're talking $200-300, all the way up to $600 in some cases, so you can hire out a bed. Now, they do come with different things depending on the type of bed, like water or maybe some drinks. You also get some menus at your sunbeds as well, which is great, and there's some lovely cocktails on there. You can see some of the prices, but yeah, look how busy this is. This is 9 a.m. in the morning. This area was completely packed. Lots of people unfortunately saving sunbeds as well, but the crew were really fantastic. If you were gone for longer than 30 minutes, they were taking those sunbeds. Anyway, you can see the huge suspended infinity pool as well, which is absolutely massive, and it's really cool. But again, it does get very busy. We saw it packed by midday, but we're just walking around this area. It's right at the back of the ship, so you do get some beautiful views of the aft of the ship and the wake, and it does sound really lovely here. Now, we did hear some complaints from people where the music was too loud. We did notice that Royal Caribbean did turn down the music a little bit, because this should be a relaxation space away from those kids if you want to escape them. You can also see there is lifts for people in wheelchairs and people with disabilities, which is really fantastic. It's something we saw at most pools and hot tubs, so this is accessible for everybody, which is really great.
Now, these beds in the pool area are again an extra cost. You do have to buy these and reserve these. These ones come with a little bit more of amenities. You can see there that you get water and some bubbly as well. But these beds are fantastic, but you are in the middle of the pool. You are on show a little bit.
Yeah, I'm really not liking this concept, guys, where Royal Caribbean are charging for beds in pool areas. It's absolutely insane. You paid so much money to come on this cruise. It is a little bit crazy to think this. And we've watched a few ship tours now from other creators, and nobody has really mentioned that these are upcharges, and everybody seems very happy about it, but we are not, guys. This is your hard-earned cash, and Royal Caribbean should not be nickel and diming people like this, because, like we said, this ship is gorgeous. It is absolutely beautiful. So we feel they are ruining things a little bit by with these little extra charges, which is not very nice. But just look how gorgeous it is. We were blown away from the second we got on this ship. We'll give our full opinion later on in the video, but I think you can tell we're a little bit impressed.
There's also a towel station here, which is super handy. You can just grab towels. You use your cruise card to check out towels, and they are complimentary, but do make sure that you check them back in. Otherwise, you will be given a charge. Now, we're coming round the side of the Hideaway here, and we're coming up to the bar area. This is really a fun space, and it's a great bar space as well. As you can see, there's different types of seating, so tables and some comfy chairs. And this area really did always have a buzz and a great atmosphere.
We just love how much Royal Caribbean have opened all of these venues. Just look at these sea views, guys. Sea views for miles, and it's something that we really, really love. It's fantastic. So a big thumbs up for Royal Caribbean for doing this, because it does feel so much more open, spacious, and it feels like you're at sea. Anyway, let's move a little bit forward from the back to the main pool areas and have a look in these areas.
Now we're going to head to deck 15, and this is the Chill Island area. So unlike Thrill Island, which is all about the slides and fun, this area is all about relaxation.
Yeah, as you could see just there, you're looking down to Central Park, which we'll show you later on. Now, this is El Loco Fresh, something found on other Royal Caribbean ships, and we're happy to say this is still a complimentary venue for the food and snacks, which is really good. It's a really colourful area, which is really fantastic as well. It's right next to the pool area, so if you are feeling hungry, you really don't have to move very far. This is something that we've noticed on the ship as a whole. You don't really have to go very far to get a drink, coffee, soft drink, an alcoholic drink, or some food, which is really lovely. Again, lots of sea views, which is really lovely, and plenty of seating for everyone. You can just see how vibrant this area is. It's just full of colour and life, which is something fantastic. So many ships these days are just all white walls and a bit boring. Here you can see some of the food on selection, which is great. You've got burritos, nachos and cheese. You've got fruit pots, bits of salad bits. There's lots to pick from: quesadillas, burritos, like we said. It's all fantastic, and it's all complimentary, which is really good. You can just come and grab whatever you want. There's also drinks stations around, so these are complimentary drinks. So you've got water, ice, and several types of juice as well, which is great. But you've also got that bar there as well if you do want to pay for some extra drinks as well. We're just moving a little bit forward now. As you can see some of the lovely little areas to chill out. There's so many nooks and crannies on this ship, so little areas tucked away with seating, hot tubs and things like that. So it's something that we really like. There isn't just large areas with lots of pool beds and pools. There's lots of different little areas to come and relax, and this is something that we haven't seen before on a Royal Caribbean ship. Just look at all of the different levels. It's all lovely.
And just next to El Loco Fresh is a little family area. They've got some catamaran style nets. There's a little play park, and it's bright and it's colourful, which is really fun.
Yeah, we're just going into another little section now with plenty of sunbeds. There's a mixture of sunbeds under cover, so in the shade, and a mixture of ones in the sun as well, which is great. But just on the left-hand side, coming up is the Cove pool, which you'll see in just a few moments. But yeah, lots of areas to chill out, lots of separate areas, something that we love. And again, you can see the multiple levels here. It's something we haven't seen on the Oasis class ships, for example. So you're almost seeing double the amount of space, even though they are a similar size to the Oasis class ships. For example, she's only a few meters longer than Wonder of the Seas, but it does feel so much more spacious.
Now, this Cove pool has an amazing view of the ocean. As Ben mentioned earlier, this really does feel like the theme of the ship. There is some great sea views. So you can just sit there, relax, and look out at that beautiful ocean.
Yeah, we've got to say we just love all of the little designy bits, guys. There's lots of artwork and colourful pieces, different types of seating. We can see a lot of money has gone into the ship, and that's why it is expensive. On the right-hand side, you've got a bar. On the left-hand side, you've got another hot tub coming up as well. So like we said, there's loads of different spaces everywhere and lots of sea views as well. Now, you've got a little car park full of sunbeds in this area as well, which are in the shade if you don't like to be in the sun all day. But we can say quite firmly there was not a lack of sunbeds. There was plenty of areas to chill out and relax on this ship. We didn't see any problem at all.
Now we're coming round to the table tennis area. This is actually great because it was in its own little confined area, so there was no chance of the balls flying anywhere, going all over the sun deck. They were all contained.
Yeah, nobody likes flying balls anyway, do they? But yeah, this is still Chill Island. It's a really big area. In the centre, just ahead, you can see the Lime and the Coconut, which is a bar which is over a couple of decks as well. But yeah, just look at the design here, guys. It's so lovely. It's so colourful and vibrant. It just fits in with the lovely sunshine from the Caribbean. It feels like a very happy, cheerful ship. We were walking around with big smiles on our faces, just thinking, wow, they've done a really good job here. All of the design elements are just great. And we can just see that Royal Caribbean have put so much effort into the floor of the ship. So they said they put a lot of time and effort into that, and we can definitely see it. The floor on the ship and all of the different areas to choose from really do break up those crowds. Even though our ship wasn't full, it was over half full, there was still plenty of areas to chill out. And we just love all of the different areas, the soft cushion seating, the lovely little pods, which are all complimentary here as well. And we can see design elements taken from celebrity cruises as well, so the Edge class of ships. We saw some things that were on that ship, like the dual levels and the little trees and things. Just the theming of these areas is so lovely. Just ahead is a little area just behind the AquaDome, the seating area for the AquaDome market. We're going to go have a look at that a little bit later on, and there's some really cool things in there, so stay tuned for that.
This area is really big and airy. I don't know if you can get the scale, but it almost feels like it's 2 levels high. That's the thing about this ship, the scale of it is just huge and it feels huge. As Ben said, it's not much bigger than Wonder of the Seas, but the way they've designed it makes it feel like a lot bigger.
It really is a big ship. For example, it can hold up to 2,350 crew. There's 2,300 on Wonder actually, so it does have a slightly lower staff to passenger ratio, but we didn't notice anything very different. There's actually 2,805 cabins on board as well, and 20 decks with 18 of those being passenger.
Now we're coming up to the Royal Bay Pool, and this is the largest pool at sea. It holds 40,000 gallons of water. This is a really popular area. It has hot tubs there, it has those sun loungers, some that are in the water as well, and it's a really fun space.
It really is, guys. And look at that champagne-styled hot tub there as well. Very similar to Celebrity Cruises, as we said, but we just love all of this artwork, bright and colourful and cheery. It just looks really fantastic. This ship can hold up to 7,600 passengers, which is crazy. So it's about 800 more than Wonder of the Seas, for example. We're just looking down at the Central Park area as well. You can just see how colourful that is compared to the other ships. Anyway, we're going to climb up to the lime and the coconut bar up here. Some lovely seating just on the left, stadium style seating, and just the theme just goes on and on. They really have, like Richard Hammond says in Jurassic Park, spared no expense. You can see they've spent a lot of money on the ship. It cost a whopping $2 billion, which is double the price of Wonder of the Seas, which is just absolutely insane.
So this is the Lime and Coconut, the frozen bar, and as you can see, it specialises in frozen drinks. There's quite a few ready-made frozen drinks that you can grab there, and we're going to come round to the side now, and you can probably spot something coming up which looks a little bit like a snake going down, and that is one of the dry slides.
Yeah, there's a dry slide from this deck to the deck below, and it doesn't matter if you're an adult or a kid. We tried it, and it's a lot of fun. We just love little touches like this. It's just so much fun.
Little tip here though, don't do it on a very, very hot day.
Yeah, because it was very hot indeed. Anyway, we're just continuing on Chill Island now. As we said, we're on a different deck now, so we're on the deck higher. There's a band coming up on the left, so there was live Caribbean music, or Caribbean if you're in the UK, and it was fabulous to hear all of that music. It's such a lively place. Again, lots of areas with sunbeds and sun lounges. This area has less shade, so if you do like to be in the sun, come to these upper decks. Now, you may see the castitas here. Castitas, I think that's the word. Now, these are for hire, and they are very expensive indeed. On a CD, you can be paying up to $700. Now, it does come with a few things, like a few drinks and stuff, but these are actually located quite far away from the pool area. You can see some of the prices. This is in British pounds as well, so £627. Wow, that's almost $800. And then you've got gratuity on top, which is a bit crazy. So if you want to hire out a bed, go for it, but we found so many that it's a little bit pointless.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you can see, they're not very private here. You do get a little bit more shade, but there is shade available around the ship. So save yourself some money and go and find those shady spots.
So we're just looking at the biggest pool at sea again from the deck above, and as you can see, it's just absolutely massive. We're just going to walk forward now, taking in some of the views of the Chill Island and all of the sun decks. Keep in mind again that our ship was almost half full at 4,900 people on board, so you can fit another 2,500 on easily. So just imagine it a little bit busier on your cruise maybe. The first few cruises on this ship are capped, so it did sell out, but they've capped the capacity at 80%, so that's why it isn't full, and they're going to slowly up that, which is a really sensible idea from Royal Caribbean, and it's something that really worked, so it was a great idea. You can see all the multiple levels again, which is just fantastic.
Now we're coming up to one of the most popular areas on the ship, and this area was completely busy the whole time. It's the Swim and Tonic bar. This is a swimmer bar, so all these people enjoying some drinks. Hi guys, they're all waving to us there. They're all enjoying drinks in the pool. And like I said, this area was just packed the whole time. It's not an adults only area, but it certainly did feel like one.
It really did. And actually, we heard from people that some kids were being asked to leave this area when it was super busy because there was a lot of people drinking in there and stuff. Anyway, there's more castitas around this area as well. I don't think you get to pick your castita. I think it is first come, first serve when you book. So if you want to get there nice and early at the castita point, you might get a better seat. Anyway, we've moved up now another deck. This deck on deck 17 is called Cloud 17. Now this is the area that was supposed to be the adults only area. Again, we're not sure why they changed it around, but you can see it was supposed to be adults only area. The clue is with the sun loungers. They're all lovely and comfortable and have lovely little padded things on top. But yeah, this area doesn't have much shade. And as you can see, guys, even with the ship not full, it was still very, very busy, whilst other areas on the ship were still quiet. So don't worry, you are going to get a sun lounger somewhere. But yeah, this is a lovely area and it has some amazing views of off the ship and into the ship as well, because you're on your own little deck at the very top. We just love this multi-level approach. It's something that we really haven't seen on any other ship. It's such a good way to make sure there's lots of space, whilst the ship, like we said, is still very much the same size of Wonder of the Seas.
So in this area, you have a hot tub, which you'll see we are going to come up to in just a second. And this is actually the champagne hot tub that Ben mentioned earlier. This is how you access it from this area.
Yeah, and you can see again there's a lift again into the hot tub, so it's accessible for everybody, so that's a big thumbs up from us. There are accessible cabins on board as well. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see one, but they have sort of walk-in bathrooms and wet rooms and things like that. Anyway, you can also access the lime and coconut from this deck as well, which is fantastic, and there's a lovely little seating area with some beautiful views of the inside of the ship. And just coming up, we have the Cloud 17 pool. Now, this was closed for most of our cruise for some reason. I'm not sure why. It's a very long, thin pool with some great views off the side of the ship.
Again, there's lots more sunbeds around here, lots more comfortable seating, and there's a towel station as well, so you can grab your towels.
Now, just ahead, you can see the suite only areas on the ship. They're just at the top of the decks there. We're going to show this in another video, and you'll be really surprised with how good they are. We're just looking down now at those decks below, so you can see the Chill Island, and then right below you've got the Central Park area. It is such a multi-level ship. But just look how lovely and colourful this is, guys. Doesn't it just look great in the Caribbean? We were really, really impressed with the amount of detail here. Royal Caribbean have done such a good job. Now, it's not going to be for everybody. Not everybody loves bright and colourful and cheeriness. Some people like a little bit more traditional, which is absolutely fine. But it's just so lovely. It has such a lovely atmosphere here. It really does. It's a gorgeous ship. We really love the outdoor areas and think they did a great job.
Now we're coming into the AquaDome. Now this is one of the areas that we were most excited to see because it's a brand new concept for this class of ship. It's where the Aqua Show is going to be, and it also has some little bonus features in here which we're going to share with you as well. So first things first, there is a shop on the right hand side just there, and then we're going to come into the AquaDome area. You can see here the dome on the top, and this is where the Aqua Show is showing.
Yeah, so this is on deck 15 at the very front of the ship. Now, it is a beautiful venue, but you might notice something. I don't know if it comes across, but it is considerably smaller than the Aqua Theatre on the Oasis class ships. So it is so important, guys, as soon as it's available to book all of the shows, that you get on that cruise planner on Royal Caribbean's website and book those shows, because they do sell out. Even on our cruise with almost 3,000 less passengers, it's sold out every day. So make sure you book as early as possible. It's our biggest tip. But the show here is absolutely bloomin' fantastic. It's just amazing. So much better than we've seen on any other ship. The entertainment is out of this world. It is just truly fantastic.
Yeah, and even if you have a reservation, please make sure you turn up early. We recommend turning up about 45 minutes early to get a space because it was extremely busy and incredibly popular.
Yeah, we're going to be talking more about the entertainment and our reviews on it in a future vlog. Anyway, we're coming up to the AquaDome market, and we're very happy to say that this is a complimentary venue. So it's a little market with some little stalls with different types of food, which is really fantastic. But again, they've got the bloomin' windows in there, guys, so you can eat with windows and sea views. Hallelujah. We are so happy that Royal Caribbean have done this. It really is fantastic, and it's something you're going to see throughout this video, and we are just so so happy about it. Just look how bright and lovely, oh, hello there, how bright and lovely it is in here, guys. There's so much natural light and it feels wonderful. Now, it is a little bit thin, so it can get crowded in here, so be prepared to wait a little while, but there's a little seating area in here, and you can eat outside like we saw earlier on, or inside the AquaDome. At the back, there's a little drink station as well, where you've got some complimentary juices, you've got some water, and you can also grab yourself some coffee or tea as well. It's all complimentary, which is fantastic. Now, you've got Max, which is the mac and cheese venue with different types of mac and cheese. Yummy muck yum face, this is my favourite.
And we also have the Toast and Garden, which is sandwiches and salads. The quality of food here was fantastic. It's probably some of the best complimentary food we've had on Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, we have to say we were super impressed. There's just such a huge choice of food on the ship, something much more than the other ships. And it's nice to see refreshing new things. This is the Feta Mediterranean, so you can get a pitta with some meat, or they do vegetarian falafel as well with some salads. And then you've got GNGR or Ginger. I think this is the Chinese venue, so there's some Chinese options there. And then Creme de la Crêpe. Oh my gosh, the crepes are blooming amazing. We'll be showing you in a future vlog, but oh my gosh, absolutely amazing. And this was probably the most popular part of this whole venue. Everybody was loving the crepes. They were beautiful. Nutella, fruit, oh, amazing. Anyway, let's head back into the AquaDome to one of our most favourite parts of the ship.
So we're going to head towards the front of the AquaDome and towards the Overlook. I almost don't want to put this in the video because this was our favourite space and it was very quiet because I don't think many people knew that it was here. First we have the Rye and Bean. This is the bar in here, and everything on this menu is all about coffee. So you can grab your coffees here, but then also some alcoholic coffee drinks as well, including coffee cocktails like espresso martini, and they did non-alcoholic coffee cocktails.
Now, approaching this area, we were absolutely speechless. Just look how beautiful this is. Hopefully it is coming across on camera, but it is such a stunning venue. It's an area to come and relax, take in those sea views, listen to some music, read a book. Something missing on the other Oasis class ships, a quiet area where you can come and chill out and just enjoy it. It's just absolutely spectacular. You've got some screens on the back there showing an aquarium, which is just so lovely, but it's gorgeous. Views all around. It's 270 degrees of just absolutely beautiful views. You've got a bar in here as well. Like we said, you do not have to go far for anything. There are bars and restaurants, 40 of them on the ship, which is crazy. So you do not have to go far for anything. It's really fantastic. So much comfortable seating in different areas just to chill out in. It's just a wonderful area.
And as I mentioned, we found most of the time this space was not busy at all. I just don't think people know that it's here or to go that far forward. And it is our favourite spot on the ship. We love all the different types of chairs, the different lounges, and these little pods as well, which are super comfortable. And they also had charging points everywhere.
Our top tip is to come here during sunset for some drinks. It is just such a beautiful venue. It's just so open, so spacious and airy. It's just a lovely area to come and chill out. It's going to be firmly one of our favourites. So please don't go here because we want it all to ourselves when we're on this type of ship. Thank you very much.
And just to mention, it was very nice and cool in here as well. It was a very hot sunny day, so this was a nice space to get some sun, but not be sweating.
Definitely. So this area just isn't over one level. It's over a few different areas and levels, cascading all over the place, guys. It's something that you're going to see on this ship a lot. It's a really good use of space, and it's something completely original. We haven't seen this on any other ship. It just is really lovely. Now, just up ahead, you might see some of the Overlook pods. Now, these are first come, first serve, and they're lovely little areas in the sky, little pods, which are really lovely to go out and chill out in. I could easily spend all day in one of these lovely little pods. They are just so private, so lovely. Oh, it's just gorgeous. Just look at all of these little seating areas, the greenery. It's just so beautifully done. I know it sounds like we're doing a paid advertisement right now, but we're not. This is our real thoughts, guys. You know how honest we are, and we were just blown away. We really were blown away by these areas. Just look at this little area here. Oh, your little private pod for the day. You can take a nap, look down on all of the other areas, and like David said, charging points everywhere. So you can do a little bit of work if you've got to do work on board, or charge your phone, because you're going to be using it for the app and things.
Yeah, so as you can see, there's the charging points, and these pods had their own personal air conditioning. They were nice and very cool up here.
Yeah, they were really lovely. Just look at these seating areas. I can't go on enough about how amazing this area is. And just look at all of the lovely colours, the blues and the greens that match the scenery outside. But it is a very big space. It's a huge area. Hopefully that comes across. Anyway, we're heading back into the AquaDome now, and just coming up on the right-hand side is Hooked. Now, this is one of the specialty extra pay restaurants on board. So this is mainly a seafood restaurant. So it's just off the lovely area of the AquaDome. Top tip as well, if you want to watch one of the shows, have a look at what time they're on and then book this for the same time. It's a great area to watch the show from, so you can have dinner and a show, but it does get very loud. It really does. The shows are very loud indeed and very vibrant.
Again, big, bright windows, so you get some fantastic sea views. I actually really like the decor in here. We didn't actually try Hooked on this cruise, but we have tried it on previous sailings. And like Ben said, it is mainly a fish restaurant.
Yeah, look at those views, guys. Again, Royal Caribbean have done such a marvellous job of making sure lots of the venues have big open sea views, and this one is no exception. This is the celebration table. Now, this is just off Hooked, and this is like the chef's table, so there's only a few seats in here, so you've got to book, and you get sort of a meal prepared by one of the chefs on board. But just look how beautiful this venue is. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And again, with those beautiful sea views, it's just a marvellous place to come and eat, especially at sunset. It's such a romantic and lovely venue. Just the styling and the interior design is just so beautiful. It's just all beautifully and delicately done. Nothing's really over the top. It's just gorgeous. I mean, just look at this. You can see it yourself.
So we're going to stick on deck 15, but we're going to go all the way to the back of the ship. You may recognise it. We're heading to the Windjammer marketplace, the Windjammer, which is the buffet on board. First things first, let's wash our hands, Ben.
Washy to enjoy the food. But yeah, you'll see that this space is very much similar to Wonder of the Seas. So if you've been on that ship, it is very familiar. There's two different parts, so you can go right or left. It's completely identical, so a mirror image, so the buffet is the same on both sides. And it really is a lovely space. The floor here is fantastic. We didn't see many lines here because there's lots of stations serving the same types of food, which keeps those lines down. And again, you've got lovely windows all the way around the outside, and then on the inside you can actually look down on Surfside, so it's a very bright open space. Again, we have to applaud Royal Caribbean for getting lots of windows on this ship. We are so thrilled. If you watch our videos, you will know we've complained about this in the past. Guys, whilst you're watching this, please do give us a subscribe and hit that like button. It really helps us to create more unbiased and honest content in super 4K. We spent over 11 hours shooting this film, so we want to bring you the best content, so we'd really appreciate it if you did give us a subscribe. But there's lots of seating, as you can see, loads and loads of space, and even on this cruise where it wasn't that full, there's so many spaces to sit down and eat.
Now, the buffet is open for breakfast, lunch and dinner. It has lots of different types of food. It's great for a grab and go area. And you can see in the background there is the Coke freestyle machines in here, which you can use your refreshment package, your drinks package. You do get the cups with them, and that's where you can use them.
As you can see, guys, it just goes on and on and on. It definitely is the largest buffet from Royal Caribbean we've seen, and probably the largest we've seen in the world. There's also a bar in here as well, so you can order some drinks and get some coffee and things like that. And just coming up, there was even a gluten-free and a diet section as well, with different diets like vegan and, like it says, gluten-free. Now, the food was really fantastic on our cruise. There was lots of choice breads, lots of pastas and things like that, but we do think that they had a slightly higher budget than the other ships because it was elevated compared. So whether or not the food's going to be the same on your cruise, we don't know. But as you can see here, a massive selection. You've got hot foods, you've got salad bars, fruit, cheese and meat. We haven't seen this on a Royal Caribbean ship before, so we hope this does stay because it does look absolutely wonderful, and we can say that the food did taste amazing. Just look at all of these desserts. It's crazy. You've got beverage stations too, and we just love these new touch machines where they serve things like coffee, iced tea, juices, and there's different types of milks as well, so you've got alternative milks. But yeah, look at this. The seating areas are just so wonderful. There's so much space and airiness in here.
Now we're going to move on to a section that gets everybody talking and is sometimes a big pinch point on cruise ships. It's the elevators. And they've done something different here. So you actually select your deck before you get on the elevator. It will tell you which elevator to go to, and then you just get in. There's no buttons inside the elevator, and it will take you to that deck.
It's so fantastic, guys. We were pessimistic about this, but these work so amazingly well. You have to try them. Anyway, we're coming up to Vitality at Sea. This is the spa area on board, and it's a lovely calming area. It's on deck 14 of the ship, so just downstairs from the buffet, the Phoebe buffet. But yeah, you've got lots of areas in here, lots of refresh rooms. You can see a drip in here, which is a bit crazy, isn't it? You can get a drip on a cruise. You've got a barber, so you can come get your haircut here. You've also got a hairdressers and a pampering room where you can get pedicures and manicures and dedicures. I don't know what they are, guys. We've never had one before. But yeah, lots of areas to come and treat yourself to. Massages. There's also a thermal area here that you can pay for as well. But yeah, a lovely relaxing space.
And also inside here is Vitality Cafe. Top tip, this is a little known area where you can actually get fresh juices and coffee. So if the coffee areas are super busy in the mornings, we always head to Vitality Cafe because it's usually quieter for your specialty coffee. As Ben mentioned, all the spa treatments and everything in here is an extra charge, and you can pre-book on the app or while you're on board.
Now we're just looking down at the Central Park area, so let's have a little look around here, shall we? Isn't it lovely, guys? It's so bright and colourful. Now, some people have said it looks a little bit tacky, and we thought it did too from the pictures, but when we were there in person, it didn't look tacky, I don't think. I mean, David thought it looks a little bit tacky, but I thought it looked lovely. I think the trees do need a little bit of room to grow, so a little bit of time to get a little bit bigger and bushier, because it did look a little bit less impressive than the Central Parks on the Oasis class ships, but I think all of this greenery will grow. But it is a very pleasant area.
So this is deck 8 of the ship, and as Ben mentioned, I did think this area was a little bit sparse and I didn't love those colours that they have all along the top, but it did start to grow on me throughout the cruise. It was still a nice area to relax during the day and on the night, and they also pumped through sounds of birds during the day and crickets on the night as well.
So a brand new venue that you're going to find on the ship or any Royal Caribbean ship is Lou's Jazz and Blues Bar. So this is a place where you can come listen to live music. Again, you've got those lovely windows, so it feels like you're in New York or somewhere on Central Park. But yeah, a lovely space to come listen to some live music, grab a cocktail or your favourite drink. But the venues are just all so well designed. I mean, just look at the roof, the floor, the curtains, the furnishings. It's all very lovely. It all very matches and fits in. It looks expensive. It does look like they've spent a lot of money on this ship, and it's something that we'll keep saying. But we just love all of the windows as well. The windows are much bigger and brighter than they are on the Oasis class ships. You've got floor to ceiling windows, as you can see here, with lovely views of the outside. It just is really wonderful. It's got a really nice ambience. We also love all of the artwork that they're painted on the white spots and the big lovely areas of greenery. A little cheeky 3 rabbits here for you guys. But yeah, there's also cabins here as well. So we're going to be doing a full cabin video tour as well of lots of the cabins on board. So do stay tuned for that. You'll notice that it is a little bit flatter because you've got those infinity balconies. You've also got some ocean view cabins there as well. So we're just going to continue walking along Central Park, taking in all of the views. We can see Steph and David hiding from the camera there on the left. Hi guys. It was really funny to film, guys. But yeah, it's a really lovely space. Again, so colourful, so bright and very airy. You got a lovely breeze on here, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a really nice breezy space, and as I said, it was a nice space just to come out and sit down, have a coffee and relax. Now we're coming up to Park Cafe. You will find this on other central parks. This one is a little bit different because it was open on an evening as well, which we've not seen on any of the other ships. In here you find all your favourites that you find on the other park cafes, so your soups, your salads, you can make your own salad. They have a carvery station and some snacks. They had chips, or as we call them, crisps, which you could just grab and go. Complimentary beverages there, so your teas, your coffees are all included. And again, indoor seating and outdoor seating.
Again, we just love how much Royal Caribbean have opened these ships. And just look how all of the venues have outdoor space as well. So these doors fully open to bring the outdoors indoors, which is really nice. You've got all of the greenery as well, which is brought in. They're just very bright and very vibrant. Something that was areas that were quite dark on the other ships. Anyway, you've got more of those Coca-Cola freestyle machines, so many more than on any other ship, and you can get thousands of different drinks here. And like David said, you've got complimentary beverages as well. So juices, coffees, teas, all of that sort of stuff. But the food really is lovely here. We do love it. A top tip for us on boarding day to head to Park Cafe instead of going to the buffet, because it can be completely manic there. But we find that Park Cafe is always lovely and civilized. So you can come grab a quick bite, a sandwich, some fruit, a salad, anything you like. And the desserts are really lovely here as well. Like we said, we think the budget for the food is a lot higher on this ship. Whether or not that changes, we don't know, because the quality of food was so much better. But yeah, here's the seating area outside for that. Just next door, you've got a brand new venue. It's called Bubbles, and this is the champagne bar. So treat yourself, guys. It's a lovely little window, which is gorgeous, with lots of different types of champagne, obviously very expensive as well. So bring that cash, guys, if you do want to drink some champagne.
As been mentioned earlier, I am looking forward to seeing Central Park in a year or two when it does grow, because I do miss the bushiness of the old Central Park and the intimate feel of it. But I am hoping that as the trees grow, that it will feel more intimate.
Now, one thing that we love as well, you can even get ocean views from the Central Park. So they've got big windows that look in on the Royal Promenade, and you can see through to the sea. How cool is this? Well done, Royal Caribbean. We are so thrilled, guys. You don't know how much this means to us. Now we've got sea views even in Central Park, so it's fabulous. We're just continuing to walk through now. As you can see, it is a lovely, vibrant space. It really is. And it's a really large space. I think it does feel bigger than the other Central Parks on the Oasis class ships. I think that's mainly because of those infinite balconies. They don't stick out as much. Now, they are quite controversial, so we'll talk about those in another episode. But you can also access the Royal Promenade directly from the Central Park area, which is just fabulous as well. So there's a set of stairs that go right into the Pearl area, which we'll talk about later on. But that's great. It's so much easier to get around on this ship than the other ships. It's fabulous.
Now, here is one of our favourite bars on the Oasis class ships, and it has been brought over to the Icon. It's the Trellis Bar, and this one is actually much bigger than you find on the other ships. It's a lovely venue, and it's really popular on an evening for an evening cocktail before dinner.
Just coming up on the right hand side, we have a Royal Caribbean favourite. It's Chops Grill, which is the steakhouse on board. Now, this is an extra pay venue, so it is a specialty restaurant, but it has a new look and it has some different menu items as well, which is great. But yeah, it does look really lovely. It looks nice and modern. They brought it into this 2024, which is really nice. Just look at the muted tones in here. It's a lovely restaurant, and it's really big as well. It looks quite considerably bigger than the other restaurants on other ships. But again, you've got lovely floor-to-ceiling windows, something that we really appreciate. It just looks really lovely and bright in here, and it just has so much ambience. It's a lovely space. We think they've done such a great job of all of these venues. Just imagine sitting here having your dinner watching the Central Park on an evening. It's lovely. They've got big tables as well for all different party sizes. Again, we recommend booking this as early as you can before you get on the ship because the spaces do go very quickly. You can also choose to eat al fresco outside as well. There are tables out here so you can take in that lovely noise and ambience of being in a park. This is our top tip. We do love sitting outside when the weather's good.
And just across the way from Chops Grill is Azumi, which is their sushi and teppanyaki restaurant. This is another favourite of ours, and it's been relocated here to the Central Park.
Again, this is an extra pay specialty restaurant, so everything here comes with an extra charge. You can see the hibachi tables here, so this is the teppanyaki part, where a chef will put on a little show for you, cook your food right at your table. It's always a lot of fun. And you can see a lot more tables, and they are a lot bigger on the ship compared to the other ships like the Oasis class, so it should be easy to get a booking here hopefully, but again, book early in advance. You can choose to eat at the teppanyaki tables, the hibachi tables, or you can order off a menu, things like sushi and Asian favourites. But again, it's a lovely restaurant, nice windows in here again as well, which we really appreciate. It does have a lovely ambience. We just love the design as well. Everywhere's just got so much design. It's on the ceiling, it's on the walls, it's just everywhere. Lots and lots of time and thought has gone into this ship. It hasn't just been flung together. It's all very thoughtfully designed, and we really appreciate it. There's no boring areas on this ship. Anyway, have a look at the food here. You can see some of the offerings on offer in Azumi, so the sushi and different types of Japanese cuisine, which is really lovely. Oh, it looks very tasty.
And as you leave Azumi, just round the side here is a new concept. It's called Azumi in the Park. This is a takeaway station. The food is an extra charge, it's not complimentary, but it serves sushi that you can grab and take away.
Yeah, so it's just a little window. It's a nice little thing. So if you want to have some little snacks on Central Park without having to go into the restaurant, you can just grab any favourites here. They've got several different types of drinks and Japanese things, which is really cool as well. It's a lovely little space. You can see those Central Park balconies, so those infinite balconies, so where the window comes down there as well. But yeah, it's a lovely space. We do love Central Park, and we're happy to see it back on this type of ship as well, because it is such a unique space, and it definitely comes alive at night, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is actually our favourite time to enjoy Central Park is on an evening. It feels like it's got a really different atmosphere. As I mentioned earlier, they pump through the sounds of the crickets, but often you can actually find live music. So on our cruise, there was a guitarist and a brass band that played on a night.
Now we're coming up to a brand new venue as well on this ship. It's on no other Royal Caribbean ships, and it's called the Empire Supper Club. Now this one's a little bit controversial because this is a dining venue that costs $200 per person, and then the tax on top of it. So it is an experience. It's a large amount of food with your drinks included, so alcohol or non-alcohol. They do have different types of menus, so if you don't eat fish or things like that, they will adapt it to you. And there's live music and entertainment on the evening as well. So it's all paired together like a speakeasy. Now, it had sold out on our cruise, and we've heard very good things about the food. People were saying how fantastic it was, but $200 per person is absolutely so expensive. Now, you can't use this on the unlimited dining package, but at the time of filming, you do get a $70 discount, so it's $130 per person. I mean, the food looks amazing here, but there's no way that we are going to pay $200 per person. With tax, that's going to be over $500, guys, basically. It's a lot of money for a cruise ship, it really is. It's a shame that it is so expensive. But the venue, it does look like Looney Tunes, you might notice, but it is beautiful, and we just love all of the details. The decor in here really is lovely. It is a great venue.
Now we're on deck 8 and we're going to head back to the back of the ship, and we're going to head towards a new area called Surfside. This replaces the boardwalk, which was the popular area found on the Oasis class ships. So this whole area is designed for families and young children. You can tell from the decor it's got big oversized features, bright colours and some fun little areas as well.
Now, for me, this was the most disappointing area. I just don't think it had the same ambience and feeling as the boardwalk did. It was all a little bit garish and over the top. I'm not sure if I really liked it, guys. It just wasn't the best area for me. It was just a little bit over the top, but at the same time, a little sparse as well. It felt like it was missing something. But this area is not designed for us, as you're going to tell in a few minutes. There is a slide again from one deck to the other. We did try this, and make sure you don't put your feet down at the end because you will come to an abrupt halt. Here's David on it now.
Also, it is quite painful, and I did burn my bottom as I did slide down that slide.
Yeah, it's really funny. But you can see it does feel just a little bit sparse. There's something missing about it. I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, on the right-hand side coming up, you've got the arcade, which is another favourite on Royal Caribbean ships. Our top tip is to make sure you check on how much your kids are spending, because this is all cashless and you just pop your card on the machine. So make sure you've got a good eye on how much they're spending in there if they are not with you at the time. But yeah, a large arcade with lots of different games. And like we said, all extra pay. So you've got to pay to do all of these things in here.
So we're coming up to the Surfside Eatery. Now, this is actually a really handy area to grab some food. It's a buffet, and most of the food is tailored towards families and young children. But we found this area was actually quite quiet, so they are open for breakfast and lunch. So if you do want an alternative place to grab some food, head down here. There's also an ice cream machine in here that is complimentary, and a Coke's Freestyle machine, plus the complimentary drinks of tea, coffee and water. There was some seating inside here and outside as well, which is a really great option.
Again, the theming's really well done. It's like a surf theme, like the Surfside area is really bright and colourful in here. But again, what's really nice about this is that it's another buffet, so it takes some pressure off the main buffet, the Windjammer buffet. And it's just so easy to get food now. You don't have to walk miles, because these are big ships. Usually you have to go quite far to find some complimentary food, but you don't really have to go far here. Like David said, lots of different juices on offer, which is really nice. We saw so many of these machines all the way around the ship. And you're never more than 10 steps away from coffee, so we are very happy people indeed. The food in here was really great. Again, it was elevated compared to other ships we've been on before. Now, whether or not this is because it's the inaugural cruise, we don't know. So do let us know in the comment section below if the food was the same on your cruise. Was it better? Was it worse? Did it stay the same? Because we'll be interested to see. Anyway, yeah, there's an ice cream machine. Treat yourself. It's complimentary, which is great. We do love complimentary.
Now, during the day along the Surfside, there was lots of kids' entertainment. So face painting, kids' musical acts. They also were playing games and things like that. So this area does get quite hectic and loud during the day with all this entertainment.
Now, you can immediately see this area is aimed at very young children. We don't like the carousel here. We much prefer the other carousel. This one's tiny, and it just looks a little bit underwhelming compared to the lovely traditional carousel on the Oasis class ships. It just felt just slightly underwhelming. It felt like we walked into Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and talking about sweet stuff, we've got the Sugar Beach shop. So this is another extra pay venue where you can pop in and get some candy and sweets and lollies and candy floss and all sorts in here, guys.
You can also pay for activities in here as well, so things like cupcake decorating, but they are an extra charge.
So moving towards the very back of the ship, on the right hand side we've got a little play area for the kids just to chill in. So it's a little climbing wall and climbing frame and some little bits of slides and stuff, so it will keep the younger kids at bay and happy. So that's really nice. So we do like the fact that they have split these areas off, so hopefully it keeps the kids, the small kids, in this area, and out of the other areas, so it makes it a bit quieter. Anyway, we've got the Surfside Bites. This was a very popular venue. It always had a line. So this is some complimentary snacks like popcorn chicken, pizza toasties, some nice desserts as well. And again, another drinks machine, which is fan-blummin-tastic. So they had drinks machine and a Coca-Cola freestyle machine here as well, which is great. So you're never more than a few steps away, which is fabulous.
And talking about a few steps away, just a few steps from that on the other side, we're going to come up to Pier 7. This is an extra charge dining venue and it's like a California grill space. Everything on here is an extra charge. However, children can eat free with a paying adult.
Yeah, if they're under 12 years old. I mean, we were disappointed to see that this was an extra pay venue because, like we said, everybody's paid a lot of money to be on this ship. But again, we can't criticise anything about the look of these venues. They're really nice, floor-to-ceiling windows. Again, Royal Caribbean have really learned that's what people like. And it's just a really nice, fresh space. Now, we are going to try this out on a future vlog, so again, do remain subscribed because we've got lots of exciting, fun and new content to explore and for you to join in with, so we can't wait to take you along on those journeys with us.
Absolutely, and we'll be able to tell you if it is worth the extra cost. Now we're coming over to the Lemon Post. This is the bar area here on Surfside, and it's a strange one because it is aimed at children, so they do have non-alcoholic cocktails and juices and things, but they do also serve alcoholic versions of those cocktails as well.
Yeah, and you're probably going to need a lot of cocktails, guys, because it is very noisy in the day in this area. So you'll probably want a few cocktails to remain sane in this area because it is designed at children, like we said. But yeah, non-alcoholic and alcoholic cocktails. So it is for all of the family, which is great. So there's something for the adults to do here as well. Now we're just coming up to the very, very back of the ship. So what we like about this is that Royal Caribbean have opened up the back of the ship so you can actually see. This is where the AquaDome was on the Oasis class ships, and it really is fantastic because you get a great view of the wake. There's lots of different seating areas to chill out with, read a book, just watch the sea go by, and then you've got like a splash zone and pool area for the little ones. There's also a little baby area as well, so a little baby bouncing area where babies with wearing swim diapers can come, or nappies in the UK we call them. But yeah, lots of little slides and things. I mean, there isn't much here. It's just 2 slides and a little splash area, so we're not sure how long kids will want to stay here. But yeah, some great views off the back of the ship there.
This is a really large space for the young children, and we do feel like Royal Caribbean are really trying to get those young families on board.
Now, one thing we noticed about this whole area is that it's absolutely dead on a night because all of the pools close down and there's nobody about, which is very strange. So it lacks any kind of ambience on an evening. Just here is the Townhouse Loft Suite as well, which is the biggest suite on board. It costs up to $80,000 per week. And you've got some other cabins here, some infinite balconies, some suites as well, which is fabulous. And we just love how you can access all of the different areas of the ship, Central Park, the Royal Promenade from this area. The floor of the ship is fantastic. And inside, bright and colourful, lots of lovely artwork all around.
Yeah, this isn't a pared back ship. These are not muted tones. This ship is really aimed at big, bright, colourful, aimed at families and people that want to have fun. Bold colours, really aimed at all the family.
So going down to deck 6 at the front of the ship, we've got the Crown Lounge. Now, this is previously known as the Diamond Lounge. Unfortunately, again, this space is an interior space, so there's absolutely no windows in here. But I mean, the decor is really, really lovely, and it is quite a spacious lounge. Now, on our cruise, there were so many diamonds and pinnacles, so people with high loyalty status who can get access to this room, that they had to block people from coming in here at certain times, which was unfortunate. There's a coffee machine in here. You'll often find snacks and little hors d'oeuvres and things to eat, so you can help yourself to that. And one great thing is that there's actually a bar in here, which is fabulous. It's something that we really haven't seen on many of the other ships, so that's really great.
Now we're going to be entering the central hub of the ship. This is the Royal Promenade, and this Royal Promenade has had an amp up. It looks absolutely huge.
Yeah, it is massive. It's at least double the width of the other Royal Promenades. It's just bloomin' gigantic, guys, and it's very impressive. Coming up first of all, on our left-hand side is another brand new venue. It's called the Dueling Pianos. So this is a piano bar where two pianos will face off each other. Now, again, the decor is lovely, but we do have to say, again, the venues are quite small for such a big ship that holds almost 8,000 people at maximum capacity, 7,600 people. These venues do fill up very quickly. They were packed on our cruise with that reduced capacity. They are a really, really fun venue though, so get here early if you do want to do something. But yeah, we still think that the venues could have been slightly bigger. There are some small venues coming up that we think could have had some extra room. But again, a lovely addition to Royal Caribbean. It's something that we saw on Norwegian Cruise Line in the past, so they were the first to do this dueling piano sort of thing. And it is a nice venue to see on board and something refreshing and new, which we give a big thumbs up to. We like new things.
So just across the way on the other side, you can see the attic, which is the Teens Club. But you can really see how big and spacious this promenade area is. It's huge.
And we just love all of the theming. You can see a Zoltar machine in the back there, which was a favourite on the Oasis class ships. But just look at all of this theming. Isn't it just fantastic? Every area has really been thought of. And we just love that this area now is like a 2-level space. So very similar to the Quantum class ships. So the Royal Promenade is over 2 decks now, which really opens it up and does give it a lot more space. There's lots of lovely comfy seating areas where you can just chill and people watch and watch the world go by. It's lovely, and you can just see some live entertainment on the stage in the back there as well, which is great. So you'll always find live music. Now, one big complaint has been that there is music coming from different venues, which is overspilling. It is something that we saw, so you could hear multiple types of music, which is a little bit annoying. Anyway, let's head further into the Royal Promenade now. So we're on the opposite side now, and as you can see, just on the right hand side, we have that band space coming up. But yeah, lots of complaints about the music overspilling in different venues. So there'll be live music, for example, in one of the bars, and they'll also have live music playing here and live music over the speakers as well. So it can get a bit weird, but Royal Caribbean apparently have said they've done that on purpose. I have no idea why. We like to have separate music venues. Anyway, another specialty restaurant coming up. One of our favourites. This is the Italian restaurant. It's an extra pay restaurant and it's a lovely little space. But look, we've got windows in the Royal Promenade. Hallelujah, David.
Yes, hallelujah indeed. And this is Giovanni's table. As Ben mentioned, it is an extra charge, so make sure you do book if you want to dine here. This is very open plan. I really like the decor in here. I love the colours, but it does get a lot of music from the promenade, as Ben was mentioning. So if you do want a more quiet table, do head towards the windows at the back. However, if you do want to be sat along the promenade and people watch, you can also do that as well.
I mean, yeah, we just love the fact you can see all of these outdoor areas and different levels. Again, it's a thing that we haven't seen on Royal Caribbean before. There's also a bar here as well, so you don't have to eat here. You can come and have a snack at the wine bar, which is lovely. They've got a fresh pizza oven, or a pizza oven. I don't know how it's fresh. And yeah, these are the little areas on the Royal Promenade where you can actually sit and just watch people go by, which I think we would possibly do. Anyway, David, coming up, we have another favourite from Royal Caribbean. You can't miss this one out on a ship, can you?
We're coming up to the Schooner Bar, which is one of our favourite spots and another popular spot that you find on Royal Caribbean ships. Again, this is really open plan, so you do get quite a bit of music spill from the other venues. Another disappointing part of this area as well was how small it is. It's a really small venue for such a popular space, and there's not much seating. We saw quizzes that were completely full almost 40 minutes before they started.
Yeah, so this is like the overhang of the Royal Promenade. We don't know why they just didn't make this venue longer or thicker into the Royal Promenade, because as you can see, there's not many seats here. Whilst it's an absolutely gorgeous space, I mean, it looks beautiful, there isn't much seating for those quizzes, for people who want to come and chill out and listen to some live music. It's just a little bit too small for me, guys, and I think on busier cruises it really is going to suffer. Anyway, let's head across the Royal Promenade on that second level, and we're going to come across another bar. But look at this area, it's just so open and big. So like we said, this area could have been used for Schooner Bar because it's such a large open area that's a little bit underutilized. But it does look very bright and colourful. We've got some lovely little dominoes there as well. We love all the bits of artwork, and hello there. hiding behind. That's really funny. Anyway, on the left-hand side, we've got the Latin favourite bar. It's called Boleros. So again, here you'll find live music, and there has been instances where there's live music in Boleros and in Schooner Bar, which is a bit odd, so you can hear both types of music if you're sat in the middle. But again, a lovely vibrant place. You can do some lovely dancing here as well, grab some lovely cocktails and enjoy the ambience. And again, windows, guys. We can't say enough. Windows on the Royal Promenade. Yay!
I absolutely love the decor in here. It is a great venue. Like we said, though, it does have the same problem as Schooner Bar. It's far too small and far too open, but absolutely love this venue.
Yeah, there's just a lack of seats. Maybe they'll put more in, we don't know. But yeah, you can see from these venues, they are small. They are the same size as much smaller ships. So they are going to suffer when the ship is busy, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, you do get a lovely ambience. It feels very busy and feels very sort of hyped up and really nice when it is busy as well. But you might struggle finding a seat, which isn't nice. But look at these views of the Promenade, David. It just looks really stunning, doesn't it? It's such a big space. It's just colourful, bright. Oh, I just love it. Right, so we're still on deck 6, which was the upper level of that promenade. And as you can see here, the elevator area, in some cases, they've got 12 different elevators. So there is just elevators at the front and the back of the ship. There is no mid-ship elevators. And this is where you can also enter Surfside as well from the deck below, then go up those stairs. But we're just approaching another little area at the back of the ship. We've got a little shop here as well, selling some merchandise and some other little things. And we've got a little gallery by Park West, which is the onboard gallery. Nice and small because we don't like galleries on board ships. They're a bit boring. But we've got one of our favourites, Playmakers.
Yes, Playmakers is here on board the ship. It's actually through that shop area. This whole section is a little bit odd because you have to go through the shop to get to Playmakers and through Playmakers to get to the ice arena and the teen club, which we'll show you in a second. But Playmakers, it's the sports bar. It's got lots of screens around here, which is great for all the sports.
Yeah, and this venue is actually quite large compared to some of the other venues, which is great. We saw lots of busy nights here with the NFL games, whatever that means. I think it's National Football League maybe. But yeah, a great space to watch the sports. You can also order food here as well, which is an extra charge. It isn't much of an extra charge compared to some of the restaurants, but we do love the food here. It's things like onion rings and nachos and chicken wings and some great desserts. We highly recommend the s'mores cookie. It is one of the best desserts on any cruise ship. Now, something that is complimentary are the foosball, the pool tables, and even these little machines at the back, like the Pac-Mans, which is great. So you can sit and play that for complimentary. It's a lovely space, lots of nice things to do in here. It doesn't have any windows, but to be honest, I don't think it really needs any. It's got a nice ambience in here anyway. You've also got something called the owner's box as well, which you can hire out. So it's a little private space where you can enjoy some drinks and watch all of those screens with your favourite sports as well. I don't really know much about this, to be honest, but obviously it probably is going to be an extra charge. But like David said, you do get some long lines through here. So the design here is a bit strange. So you've got to wait and line here for the ice show. Again, get here nice and early. It is a big venue, but it does fill up very quickly. People are wanting to see the shows. Just look how cool this venue is, guys. Make sure you do book it before you get on the cruise as well. The show here is absolutely incredible, and just look how impressive this arena is. It is so cool. It's by far the biggest one we've seen on a Royal Caribbean ship. The ice skating area is humongous, and the show, like we said, is just absolutely blooming spectacular. The entertainment on the ship is by far the best we have seen on any cruise ship, bar none. It is just unblooming believable. They have done such a good job. It's just insanely good. It's entertainment you'd see on the West End or Broadway.
Yes, and if you want to take to the ice yourself, they do have ice skating sessions, again complimentary, and that arena also turns into a laser tag arena, which again is free as well.
Now we've got the fitness centre as well, which is absolutely huge on this ship. And you might have seen just a few seconds ago the adventure area as well. That's for the kids clubs. That's near the Playmakers as well. But this fitness centre / gym is gigantic. And we just love how nice and bright and spacious and cool this area is as well. Plenty of machines to pick from. You've got lots of cardio machines. So you've got your lovely little cross trainers and running machines and step machines and bikes, and then you've also got weights as well, which is great. So anybody who wants to get fit whilst they're on a cruise, you're not going to go wrong here. There's so much things to do.
So this fitness centre is located at the very front of the ship. You can get access from deck 6 like you just saw, or also you can access it from the jogging track on deck 5.
Yeah, so it's a huge space, guys. You're not going to go wrong here if you like to do what I like to call exercise on a vacation. The only time we've ever been in here is to film the ship tour. We don't do this on holiday. Now, one thing that's great is that there is a running track and an outdoor promenade area, so you can walk as well outside. This is where Rover, the onboard chief dog, will go poo-poo and wee-wee, so they've even got a fire hydrant. So we're just going to walk all the way around the ship. This promenade deck and jogging track goes all the way around, which is fantastic. There's also several little seating areas as well where you can enjoy, and this is the very back of the ship and the wake. But let's look how big it is. It is miles long. It is crazily long, and took us about 15 minutes to walk around. Again, some comfy seating, and we just wanted to point out these life rafts as well. 450 people. They are blooming massive. They're like ships themselves. Oof, that took a long time, but it was fun to walk around.
So back inside, we're going to the very front of the ship, and across deck 4 and 5, you will find the Royal Theatre. Now, this theatre is huge, but you still do need to make reservations for the shows, and trust me, you're going to want to do them because they are spectacular. The main show on here is The Wizard of Oz, and it was incredible. As Ben said, it was West End standard with a full 16-piece orchestra. Yes, that is a full live orchestra, which was incredible to listen to.
I can't tell you enough about how amazing that show is, guys. It was mind-blowingly fantastic. Anyway, we're going to stay on deck 5, and we're going to have a look at the lower level of the Royal Promenade. Again, you can see those elevators. Can't say enough about them. We never had to wait long. They were never full. They're very spacious in there. They are such a fantastic thing, and we want to see them on future ships because they are amazing. They seemed intelligent, which is something that other elevators are not. Anyway, we've got lots of shops on the Royal Promenade as well, so you can come and get your beauty products, your perfumes, your moisturising creams, your whatever you do to your body. It's all in there.
It did feel like there was less stores and shops, or there were smaller on this ship, which I don't mind. I would much rather have space for things to do, like bars and restaurants. But there is still all the shops available. But like I said, they did feel a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I like that. Like you said, I think it's a great thing. There are Effie shops as well, which is the jewellery store as well. It always seemed quite quiet in all of these shops as well. I don't think people were interested in them, so I think it's a good thing. I would rather have more room for everything else. Anyway, we're just walking right down the middle of the Royal Promenade, and it is a lovely space. You can just see how wide it is, guys. Like we said, some of these venues could have been brought out a little bit more to give them more room.
You were about to start singing there, wasn't you?
I'm walking right down the middle of... Yes, anyway, you've got an old favourite, the Spotlight Karaoke Bar. It is a little bit bigger than it is on Oasis-class ships, and it is themed absolutely beautifully, but it is still too small. People love this space. People love to come do karaoke, lots of trivia in here as well. I mean, we love the theming. The theming is just spectacular. Everything about it is just bright and colourful and lovely. There's a bar in here as well, so again, you don't have to go very far to get any liquid. But yeah, lovely songs here. She's just doing a beautiful karaoke rendition. It was one of the staff members, and she had a bloomin' good voice, guys. She was fantastic.
Yes, go her. The bar nearby to get some liquid courage, was you going to say, Ben?
Yeah, you'll need liquid courage because this place does get very busy. Anyway, on the opposite side, we have another favourite, Sorrento's. Again, quite small. We've seen some other tours saying this is a huge space, but it really isn't. It's smaller than the Oasis-class ships, in our opinion. There's not many seats there, and on an evening... Oh, hello there. We met so many of our lovely subscribers, guys. It was so lovely if we met you on the ship. Thank you so much for saying hello. But yeah, it is quite a small venue. Pizza here most of the time. You've got a little beer bar there as well. You can get some little side dishes as well, which is great. And this is open most of the time. So if you are feeling peckish, there's always somewhere to eat on the ship, which is appreciated. But yeah, another smallish venue. It could have been a little bit bigger. It should have went further into the Royal Promenade. There's no reason for it to be so wide.
Tucked inside there was 2 Coke freestyle machines, so if you are looking for them on the promenade, you can find them in Sorrento's.
So let's keep moving along. Again, we've got another little shop on the left-hand side and another one on the right. Something that we really like is that they don't have the shops in the middle like they used to do on the Oasis class ships. It used to clog up the floor. On this ship, it's very much an open space, so you are not hindered by anything in the middle. It really does flow very well. On the left-hand side, Starbucks. So if you do want to pay for an extra coffee, you can do. It's not included on any drinks package. They do have snacks as well there as well, which are an extra charge. Completely pointless. Go get the snacks from the Pearl Cafe, which we're going to show you in a few moments. But they have the mugs. Oh my gosh, guys. If you don't know, we collect the mugs. Amazing. Icon of the Seas, Been There mugs by Starbucks. We're going to be getting one of those.
Here we have the Royal Caribbean logo store, and later in our cruise they were selling the jerseys, the football jerseys with Messi on them. I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean the passengers are Messi?
No, even I know this, David. He's a football player. He's the godfather of the ship, Lionel Messi, and he plays for Inter Milan. I mean, look at me knowing about sports. But yeah, he's a football player, so he plays for them, and you could buy his shirts in here, which are sponsored by Royal Caribbean, and there's lots of other goodies like ship models and things like that. Anyway, just beside it, you've got a little area, seating area, and you've got the photo gallery, which is not a gallery, it's just a desk, which is great. It used to take up so much space. So the focus photo gallery for any photo things, and the shore excursions desk as well, which are tucked behind the Pearl, which is really fantastic. On previous ships, they took up so much room, but it's just unnecessary because you can do it all on your phone now on the Royal Caribbean app.
That was a great space on a night. If the other venues were busy and you wanted a little quiet area, we tended to sit behind there, didn't we?
We did. Anyway, this venue is just beautiful. It's 1440. Look at that sun, isn't it just gorgeous? Big old windows and that little seating area outside by the jogging track, which is lovely. You can come here for a gorgeous cocktail. They've got some very fancy cocktails. Brand new menus on the ship as well, which is great to see. So plenty of drinks, but what a space. It's just absolutely beautiful here. We have to give a big shout out to the crew as well, who are amazing on this ship. We met Chris Wong as well, who works in the casino. He's such a lovely guy as well. So check out his channel, guys, as well. He's such a great guy. We got to meet loads of other influencers and loads of other cruise creators, and they were all lovely as well. But David, the pièce de résistance.
Yes, we've been dancing around it, but let's finally talk about it. This is the Pearl, and this takes up the central feature on the Royal Promenade. It's blooming huge. It looks big on camera, but it feels bigger in real life. This is a really cool feature. It is a photo spot where you can walk up it and you can get some great photos here as well.
Yeah, it is just stunning, guys. It really is. It's not disappointing at all. And it takes you up to the Pearl Cafe, again with those beautiful multi-story, 3-story windows. Yay, Royal Caribbean. It just looks really amazing. They did such a great job there. And on the right-hand side, you just saw some stairs where you can get up to the Central Park area. The snacks here were on another level, guys. We're not sure if this is because it's just a first cruise, but the sweets, the sandwiches, all look just fantastic. I want all of this cake, please, immediately. It looks fantastic. And again, the sandwiches are really good. Do let us know if it stays like this, because the level of food was so much better than the Promenade Cafe, which this really replaces. And there's a little grab and go section.
Just around the corner, you can find all the complimentary beverages. So your teas, your coffees, your juices with them new pumps just there, and also the different milks. Great section, so you can get some iced water and all your free drinks.
Yeah, and it's all touchless, which is really fantastic. And a big tea selection there as well. But yeah, this space is just gorgeous, guys. The Pearl Cafe is really beautiful. Just look at this beautiful artwork, a giant whale coming down from the roof, lots of lovely, comfortable seating and chargers in some locations as well. But the Pearl, it's gorgeous. It all moves as well. It's all very dynamic. It's like magnetic little plates in there, which kind of move and sway with all of the lighting on there. It really does need to be seen. And it's the first thing you see when you get on the cruise ship as well, which is really lovely. It's such a dramatic entrance and we just absolutely love it. It's such a great space, and a great space to get a photo, like David said. Oh, what a beautiful place. Anyway, continuing on the Royal Promenade, you can just see the scale here. It is double the size. of the Oasis class ships, but like we said, the venues have remained the same size for some reason. On the left hand side, we've got the British style pub. Now, no ship would be complete without this, would it? It's called the Pint and Feather. A lovely name, isn't it, David? But yeah, a nice pub in there, live music again, quizzes, but again, you can see it's quite a small venue for so many people on board.
Yeah, and because this one is open plan, it does lack the intimacy of the pubs that you found on the other ships. Just next to that is the next cruise desk and the Crown and Anchor Society. So this is where you can book your next cruise or get any help or information about Royale's Loyalty Club.
A little bit of a seating area there as well. Then you've got another shop called the Port Merchants. This is where you can buy cigarettes and alcohol as well. But again, nice and small, not too overwhelming, which is great. We like that the shops are small. And then coming up on the left-hand side, you have the guest services area as well. So if you have any problems on board, come to this area. It does get really busy on boarding day and the last day. So if you do want to do anything, make sure you avoid those times. Come early in the morning or late at night. And you can do lots of stuff on your app now as well. Now, we love the little dog here as well, which is taking a pee-pee on one of the lampposts. It's really great. We just love all of the quirky artwork. It's just so lovely, and it brings something new to the ship. But back in the pub, you can see a little view of the bar here and how big it is. I mean, the theming again, absolutely spectacular. No expense spared.
As we mentioned earlier, one thing we liked was that the floor was much easier. There's multiple ways to access the different decks, which did help when there was large crowds. We didn't find many pinch points around the ship. So we're heading up now to the main dining room, and this spans over 3 different decks.
Now, one thing that surprised us about this dining room was how traditional and old it looked. It's a nice space, but it didn't fit with the rest of the ship because it looks like a very old ship, like maybe an old Royal Caribbean ship or a Princess Cruises ship. It was very, very traditional, and we were wanting something a little bit more vibrant and new, like on the Odyssey of the Seas, for example, or even the Wonder of the Seas. But it was quite dark and very traditional woods and yellow lighting and things like that. I mean, it is a huge space, expansive over 3 different decks. Each deck has its own time of dining, so one will be reserved for traditional time dining, one will be reserved for my time dining, where you have the flexible dining. Make sure you do book anyway, even if you do have the my time dining, because it makes sure that you don't have to line when you come here. But it is a lovely space, just very, very traditional. It's not something that we expected on such a brand new ship.
Now we're going to head down to the Royal Casino, but we're not going to take an elevator, we're not going to walk. We're going to take the escalators down to the Royal Casino. Yes, they have blooming escalators on this ship.
Yeah, so it's accessed via the Royal Promenade in the middle there. I mean, that's pretty cool, isn't it, guys? And as you can imagine, the Casino Royal, or the casino on board, is blooming huge. This is where you'll find Chris Wong as well, if you're looking for him as well. Again, a big shout out to Chris. He's such a lovely guy. But yeah, a really, really, really big casino. Hundreds and thousands of machines, lots of tables, so you can play your craps, your roulette, your poker, all of that jazz as well. But yeah, it's massive, guys. It's probably one of the biggest casinos we've seen. It does resemble Vegas. There's no windows here, so it is a bit Vegas-y. You don't know what time of day it is, and yeah, watch how much money you spend, because it's easy to overspend.
It did have a smoking and non-smoking section, but there was nothing to separate them, so you could still smell the smoke in the non-smoking area.
Yeah, it's 2024. We would like a different cordoned off area for non-smokers like we've seen on other cruise ships like Norwegian Cruise Line, because I've got asthma, guys, and I don't like the smoke. It just it doesn't feel nice on my lungs, and you do go out stinking of smoke as well. We have no problems with people smoking at all. There's several smoking areas inside and outside, so don't worry about that. Anyway, just by the casino, you've got the music hall, which is a lovely 2-story venue, and it's a really nice big space here. You'll find lots of live music, live bands, parties and things like that, and it is really lovely. It's a great space, and it looks super modern, super cool.
Yeah, this was a great venue. It actually had loads of atmosphere on a night. There was a great band in here on a night, so they did have live music, but they also did some classes during the day in here. We saw a morning stretch class and a yoga class and quizzes as well.
And like we said, it's 2 stories. There's a bar on both levels as well, so you never have to go too far for a drink. And yeah, it's just a nice space. It's nice and spacious, guys. This is the thing about these big ships. We like to see venues like this where there's plenty of seating for everybody. It still gets very busy in here, but it's got a great ambience. We saw a really cool rock band in here, and it had amazing sound. They've put so much money into things like speakers and stuff like that. Everything just sounds amazing. It's all very high quality, which we really appreciate. As tech nerds, we like our speakers and things to be good. But yeah, it's a lovely little space to come and relax, and it kind of sums up the whole tour now. This is the end, and we have to say, guys, our official opinion is that this ship is in freaking credible. It has a few little problems, every ship does, but we are so pleased to say that we absolutely love Icon of the Seas. This is just a quick shot of the medical centre. There is one on board. It's a huge medical centre, so if anything happens, you will go there, but make sure you've got insurance, because that'll be expensive. But David, what do you think? I think the ship's incredible.
Yeah, they've done a fantastic job with really amping up the ship. Now, we're not going to lie, this is a huge ship. If you do not like big crowds, if you do not like big ships, do not go on this ship, because it's not for you. However, if you want loads to do, especially if you've got families, young adults, and you want to be entertained, you want activities all the time, this is going to be the ship for you.
Yeah, I went in with thinking it's going to be a floating monstrosity, if I'm honest, guys, and I was proven so wrong. It is a beautiful ship with so many spaces. Like I said, not perfect, but no ship is. But we are so pleased to recommend Icon of the Seas. If you can afford it, because it is expensive, guys, there's no going around that. It's definitely a ship you should do. It is so wonderful. We had the best time, and we're so happy to say that this is a really, really fantastic ship. So big thumbs up to Royal Caribbean.
And if you've made it to the end of this video, big thumbs up to you. Thank you so much for watching. Please do hit that subscribe button and give us a like, because we have so many more videos coming up that we want to share with you.
And this wouldn't be possible without you and the support of our patrons as well. Thank you so much to our patrons. You too can become a patron by clicking the link in the description section below. We give you things like behind the scenes footage, extra episodes, and timelines of what we do. And we have a lovely little Zoom chat every month as well. And it really, really helps us to create unbiased and honest content. So please do think about supporting us. It really helps us. But David, I guess that's it till next time. Happy cruising. Oh, our longest video by far. Thanks for sticking by, guys.